T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ted Jones messed with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I never held him.
You are all my children now.
This is as far as you go. No more.
Hello, Sydney. Are you God damn you.
I wish I had you all alone, just the two of us.
Ooh, baby. 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 Ooh, baby.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today, a pop-up stream. I did not plan on streaming it this time today. Yes, I planned on streaming at 8 p.m. tonight, which I still will do. But there's only a couple things that could have come out today to make me want to jump online, and one of which is Halloween. So, Bloody Disgusting dropped an article today about the Halloween TV series, and that's why we're here. That's what we're here to do. What we're here to check out today, to talk about. It's not a huge article, but it's news and it gives some perspective. So let me say what's up to people in the chat, and then we will go ahead and get into this, because I want to look at this from every possible angle this morning that we can do for what we know, right? It's been a while since we've had any Halloween news. I believe it was October the last time they told us that, anything to do with the series. So I'm very curious to not only really look at this and find out what you guys think as well. So let me say what is up to the chat. Let's see who we got here. Jerry Wilson is in the chat saying, let's get it. That's what I'm talking about, my man. Let's get it, dude. Russell Dorsey is in the chat saying, what's up, everyone? I smashed that like button. Hope everyone is having a wonderful afternoon. Thug life. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thug life. Hell yes. Russell's also saying anything that has to do with the shape. Michael Myers, I'm down for it. Let's not ruin a Halloween TV series. Let's do it right. Let's not ruin Halloween with a Halloween TV series. Let's do it right. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Russell Dorsey's also saying, he's just saying what's up to everybody. Mr. Rick is in the chat saying thug life. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Rick. What is happening, my man? I hope that you are doing well, sir. I hope that you're doing well. Let me see this real quick. Trying to pull everything up here. Okay. Let's see where else we're at here. Val from Val's Views is in the chat saying, hey, everyone, what is up, Val? You know, the general is in the chat, and the general always gets a salute from Movies and Beyond. What is up, Val? I hope you're feeling better today. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Byron Weaver is in the chat saying, hi, guys. What's up, Byron? I know Byron is a big Halloween fan. Can't wait to get some perspective from him as well on this. Eric from The Bearded Entertainment is in the chat saying, let's party, people. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, dude. What is up, Eric? I hope you're doing well, sir. Val is saying, hit me with some good Halloween news. Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. Let's see. Mr. Rick is saying last night it was really fun, but I might have to leave to go to dinner. I'll come back tonight. Hell yeah, Mr. Rick. I got you, man. I will be here tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jerry also throwing out the link for Patreon, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you. If you want to support the channel outside of YouTube, you can do so at www.patreon.com/movies and beyond. And you can also support it through YouTube. That little join button that's right underneath the screen that you see there on your TV, computer, phone, whichever way that you're watching my ugly mug today to talk about Halloween. You can join through that as well, each coming with different perks and, you know, different things. So hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. And if you haven't, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for me. It helps out the channel immensely. But let's go ahead and dive into this. Let me bring this article up from Bloody Disgusting. Is it kind of cut me off there? Why can I not see this? Here we go. Okay, so Halloween Miramax TV series will be a creative reset for the franchise. Here's the latest. Okay, so looking at that, a creative reset. So just by reading the title, I'm thinking, okay, are they going to reset it from a certain point, or are they going all the way back and we're just going to reset the hell out of this whole damn franchise? Let's see what the article has to say. We had learned this past October that Miramax landed the TV rights to Halloween franchise, joining forces with Malik Akkad's Trancas International Films to bring Michael Myers to the small screen. Miramax will be developing and co-producing the Halloween saga's first ever TV series. And Miramax head Mark Helwig provides an update to Deadline this week. All right. They have a big quote right here that says it's a creative reset completely and going back to the original film as opposed to spinning out any more recent film adaptations. Again, it's a creative reset completely and going back to the original film completely. To me, that tells me we're going day one Halloween with this. So this version, with it being, you know, completely, that's what that means to me. That doesn't mean, oh, we're going to follow up on, you know, we're going to start from the end of Halloween 1. This says completely. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that says, nah, we're going to start from scratch. The question is where do they start? Do you start from Michael killing Judith? Do you start from maybe a little before that? I mean, you know, reading this is going to give us more questions than anything else, right? You know, it's gonna give us so many questions because there's not a lot of this article left, and I don't feel like they're gonna answer all the questions that this is throwing up for me right now. Hellwig also notes we're on a fast track. It's going to be a big priority for us. We've had lots of exciting Jesus. We've had lots of exciting conversations in the recent months with a number of really talented people, and I think we'll have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing very soon. We're hoping to lock down the creative team very soon. So they don't have a team together yet, to do this. They have an idea of what they want to do, but they haven't locked anyone down yet. As a reminder, Miramax co-owner, Miramax co-owns the Halloween film rights alongside Trancas. In other words, the new universe from Miramax and Trancas could potentially span film and television. Well, so here's what's coming to my head for that. Isn't that what they're doing with Jason? Like, don't you feel like we've read this before? Like, I feel like this is what was explained to me with Friday. They talked about we're going to start with a TV show and that's going to go into, films. Like, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. A quote I also did miss up top here. It says, the foundation of it is the original film, the John Carpenter movie, the characters of that film, and perhaps a group of characters that we haven't focused on that much in recent film versions, or even a number of them. So are we talking like Ben Tramer type characters? Are those the things that they're talking about with that? Like, are we gonna bring some characters to light that were side characters? Are we gonna know more about Loomis? I really hope. Well, we can get into that in a minute. What can we expect from the Halloween TV series, you ask? For starters, don't expect any kind of continuation to the storyline from David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. So that's gone, right? They've told us that we're going back to the original. We're going back. The way I'm reading this, we are going back day one. So that's bringing up a million questions as well. 2022 Halloween Ends was the 13th installment in the Halloween franchise, which to date has never made its way onto the small screen. This one will be a big time first. Yes, it will. Stay tuned for more on Miramax and Trancas' plans for the Halloween franchise. Okay, excellent. All right, let's dive into that. Let's dive into this. So, let me start with the pluses, right? All right, let's start here. And going all the way back, a total reboot, a total remake, a total let's start from the beginning with a Halloween TV series. I think they almost have to do that, right? Here's what I'm thinking with that. Okay, let's say we're starting from ground zero, right? Let's say that we are going back to Halloween. Does it take place in 1978 still? Does it take place now? What do you guys think? Like, let's start with time frame. If we're going to start Halloween over, if we want to get that initial, start of Halloween, do we start it back in 1978? Do we make this show roughly around that time frame? Or do we try to modernize it? Do we try to bring Halloween to now? That's tough, right? You think about, you know, we know with Camp Crystal Lake that's going to take place. Well, shit, we don't even know that for a fact. You know, we assume the Camp Crystal Lake is going to take place, you know, back in the day. But let's say that we leave it in the 70s, right? So is this show going to take place from, you know, let's say you get the, you know, initial first episode in the 60s when Michael kills Judith? Are you going to get Smith's Grove? Are you going to get anything to come with that? Or are you going to time jump just like the movie did? I mean, there's a lot of questions. There is a lot of questions with that. Let's see what some of you guys have to say. Val is saying start it right after Michael kills Judith in the show and him and Loomis and Smith Grove and show him and Loomis. Yes, I do think that is a possibility. I do think that could be cool. My worry with that is don't take away the mystique of Michael Myers for me. Don't show me too much. You're treading a line when you really get into seeing more than we know, right? You're really getting into, do I really want to see this stuff? Now, you can go to Rob Zombie's Halloween, you know, and there are people that love that. There are people that love the fact that they knew why Michael killed people, you know, what he was thinking when he killed people. I'm one of the fans that love the mystery. I'm one of the fans that think that that's what makes Michael different from the rest. It kind of gives you that feeling of wonder with him and making him different from the other killers. Like, just be careful is all I'm really saying with that. Jerry gives some membership to Movies MB. Dude, thank you so much, Jerry. I appreciate that so much, my man. You are always doing stuff like that for the channel, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jerry. Let's see. Peter Anthony in the chat on Facebook side of things saying, "What's up, my man? What's up, Peter, bro? I hope you're feeling better, my man. I hope you're getting well, dude, and we'll get to see you soon, man. Great to have you here, dude. Always great to have you here." Let's see. Russell's also saying, "I'd like to see a longer part for Judith." Now, with seeing more Judith, like, I really don't know what I can think of, you know, that would make me. I really don't have any wonder for Judith. You know, like, I've never sat down thinking about Halloween, like, I wonder what Judith did before she got killed. Like, what she did, what did she do at school that day? What was their relationship like? It's just never something that I've ever wondered about Halloween. Not to say that people don't, you know, could it add to it? Yes. You know, but there's just that something about that mystery of, you know, when the first Halloween starts off and, you know, you see this little hand kill his sister and you're just like, whoa, what, how? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? And they surrounded Michael in so much mystery. It just, I don't know. It's careful. Like, my advice would be, not that I'm anyone, I'm some asshole with a microphone, right? It's be careful. You know, be careful. Please be careful. Jerry throwing out the thug lives. That's what I'm talking about. Jamie Hart is in the chat saying hello. What's up, Jamie? I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Let's see, what else do we have? Val is saying, I'm a big fan of not knowing, but I also believe that Loomis was a huge part of why Michael turned out like he did. Interesting. So I look at it like this, and, you know, there's no right or wrong with this. That's why we always, you know, this is why we do this. Loomis's dialogue with that, you know, like, I spent 8 years, you know, trying to reach him, another 7 years trying to keep him locked away. And you know, he talks about I saw him looking at the wall, looking past the wall, being patient, you know, like he talked about all that, you know, looking at his eyes, seeing it. It's like there's so much mystery with that. there's just so much that it's just like, do I really want them to expand on that? Like, in my mind, Michael sat there staring at a wall for 15 years, not doing anything, and you watch the TV versions of Halloween, and you see, Loomis goes in and Michael's just staring at the wall, just sitting there. And that's what I've always pictured in my mind. Like, I don't know if I want more of that or not. And if you do, don't just be careful. Like, I know I keep going back to that, but it's just like I just see it a certain way, and maybe it's selfish of me, and I don't want that to change. I don't like change. No, I'm not one of those, but it's just like, be careful, guys. Please just be careful. I know I just keep going back to that, but it's rough. Byron Weaver is saying, I want them to make the 1978 novel canon to the story, especially the Celtic race aspect. Yeah, dude. Like, see, here's the thing, man. With that, and this may sound crazy, but I have never read the novel of Halloween. I've always just gone by the movie. So to speak on that part, I would definitely have to read the book, and that's probably a good book for me to read, man. I will definitely check that out for sure. Byron Weaver's also saying, plus they could have Aaron Armstrong to play an adult Michael. Dude, I would be ecstatic with that. Aaron Armstrong, for those who don't know, was the Shape in the flashback in Halloween Kills. Like, to me, he did fantastic. He did absolutely fantastic with that. Some of those shots could be some of the best shots we've ever seen of Michael. Not to take anything away from, Nick Castle or, Dick Warlock or James Drew Courtney. But when you see him walking down that alleyway, that to me is one of the most beautiful shots of Michael. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. Jamie Hart is also saying, personally, I'm against any new Halloween projects. I'm tired. I know that's not a popular take, though. It may be more popular than you think, Jamie. Like, there are tons of Halloween fans that are just like, we just did this for like 4 years. We just had 3 movies. Like, why don't we let this marinate for a little bit? So, I don't think it is as unpopular as you think. I think that there are probably a lot of people that may have Halloween fatigue at this point. So I don't think that that's a bad or an unpopular take, Jamie. Like, seriously, I don't. Rick is like, Mr. Rick is saying, I would love to see who they get to play Loomis. That's another thing I was going to talk about, Mr. Rick. That is definitely another thing, because that is a role that is very important to the Halloween franchise. What would Michael be without Loomis? Not to say he couldn't, exist without him, because he has. But you look at that first movie, people talk about screen time with Michael in the first movie. They like to use that, especially when they talk about Halloween Ends, and a lot of people saying, well, Michael wasn't really in Halloween Ends. Fine. They're like, well, he wasn't in the first one either. It's like, yeah, dude, but he had Loomis, and Loomis, if Loomis was on the screen, 9 times out of 10, he was talking about Michael. You think about every time he's on that screen, he's telling someone that the evil is here. He's telling someone that they don't have a police force. He's telling someone about, Michael looking at the wall, staring, talking about the devil's eyes, talking about evil's coming to Haddonfield. He is like, Michael not being on screen. Michael's kind of on screen with Loomis. Like, he's just hyping that dude up. Jamie is also saying, when I said I was glad they put Michael in the grinder and ends, I got my butt chewed out. But I felt like that was a cardiac moment for me. I can see that. I felt like, and regardless of how you felt about ends, whether you loved it, whether you didn't like it, looking at what they're doing here, I think that they are like, that is the safest thing that we can do with Halloween right now. That is the freaking safest thing. Let's go back to the beginning and start all over. Let's start it from the initial iteration of Michael, and we'll just start all over. Because whether you loved or hated Halloween Ends, it divided the fan base more than I'd ever seen any Halloween do ever. And the only thing close to it was maybe Rob Zombie's Halloween. Because even if you look at Halloween 3, yes, there are a lot of people that like it and there's a lot of people that hate it, but at the same time, it wasn't always like that, especially when it first came out. You looked at when that first came out in the 80s, people were like, what the hell is this? It wasn't until after, the people went back and gave it a chance and were like, okay, yeah, you know what? This is pretty good. I never heard of anybody in the 80s. Now, granted, I was a little kid, so there's that. That was like, man, that Halloween 3 was awesome. No, I mean, any conversation I had with Halloween 3 as a kid was, did you see the one without Michael in it? You know what I mean? Like, that's as far as it got. But Ends did create that division. And I think with them going back to the beginning and saying, well, we don't want that again, let's go ahead and start it from scratch. I think that is a safe thing for them to do. Let's see. Byron is also saying, I highly doubt that they will do this, but they could get someone like Gary Oldman or James McAvoy to play Dr. Loomis. Yeah, I mean, that's going to cost them, though, right? Especially Gary Oldman. Dude's a killer actor, right? Gary Oldman is a beast. But it's like, hey, Gary Oldman, do you want to come and do a Miramax show about a slasher, Michael Myers and B. Loomis? I honestly think that's going to be a tough sell for like Gary Oldman. I do. But I mean, if he did it, hell yeah, man. I'd love to see Gary Oldman as freaking Loomis. Yeah, Russell, that's what we're getting into now. Byron, we were saying James McAvoy could be the grandson of Dr. Loomis and maybe a younger version. Yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing, man. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Where do you start this thing? If they're saying they're doing a total start from scratch reboot, there wouldn't be a grandson yet. And where do we start this? Like, we know in the timeline, like, let's say that they're starting it from the original Halloween. When does that take place? Do we go back to the 70s and make a show that takes place in the 70s and early 80s? Or do we try to modernize Halloween and say that it happened yesterday? And now we're dealing with something, totally different, a totally different way of dealing with Michael, because times are different. The resources that we have now compared to 1978, it's different. It's way different. I almost feel like they have to keep this back in the 70s, story-wise. I do. Byron saying, I wish they had Michael get cremated in Ends instead of the procession. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, full disclosure with Ends, that's a movie that I still don't really know how I genuinely feel about it. Like my initial reaction to it was disappointment. I'm still somewhat disappointed in it. But at the same time, I understood what they were trying to do. I just don't really like the way they did it. Jamie is saying, I love Ends. It was a breath of fresh air and not what I was expecting. Yeah, and a lot of people felt that way. The division in that movie. Again, I hate to keep going back to that, but when I think of Halloween Ends, I think that it was like, it was just very, I don't want to make this about Ends. I really don't, because Ends, we tend to go off on a thing about Ends. And yeah, I just, that's another stream for me because I'll go. I'll definitely go. Byron Weaver says the movie ends got a 6.4 out of 10. 6.4. I can't even talk today. I apologize, you guys. 6.4 out of 10. But the novel gets 9 out of 10. Dude, I love that you read the novels too. That's so cool. Val enjoyed ends too. I'm not that person in 1983 that said Halloween 3 was awesome. Or I am that person. I also noticed TV ads that Michael was not in real in the universe because it showed Halloween in TV. Yes, it did. It actually showed, Halloween twice in that movie. It showed him at the bar. He's coming down the stairs, and then you had Halloween on the TV when Tom Atkins was tied up. So definitely not not part of the story for sure. Russell saying I love Season of the Witch. Yes, that's cool. That's cool. That is cool. So let me ask you guys this. We've talked a little bit about Loomis. That would be a huge part. That would be a huge freaking part of making this. Who do you get to fill those shoes? And then Michael's look. Do you keep that original mask? I mean, I think you should. Or do you try to do something different? Do you try to make it look different? Would that change, Michael, for you guys if the mask was, not like the original mask? Is that something that's very important to all of you? I feel like you have to keep it in the same wheelhouse. You have to do the dark eyes and the pale face. Like that's, to me, that's beyond, important for Michael. It's what makes him recognizable. It's like saying, with like Jason, do you keep the hockey mask or you put a baseball hat on him and let him be ugly? How much do you change the mask is what I'm asking. Val is saying it's a must to keep the OG mask. That is one thing that would definitely tank this project. Yeah. I mean, you look at, but okay. Let me just play devil's advocate to that. One of the more popular Halloween movies is Halloween 4. Granted, it was along the lines of the original mask, but it was definitely different. I'm not bringing up Halloween 5 because to me that movie was so disappointing. But it did. You know what I mean? Like, do you make it look, not say make it look like Halloween 4, but do you make changes in the mask that way? To try to make it a little more I honestly am a big fan of keeping, the OG mask. I really am. I would love to see what they did in Halloween Kills with the flashback Michael mask. I would love to see that. I think that's one of the best Michael's ever looked to me. It's absolutely fantastic. Byron's also asking, I wonder if this TV series will be a mini series, maybe 8 to 10 episode story, or maybe multiple seasons. I'm looking forward to seeing whenever it comes out. Will it be on Peacock or Prime? So they haven't said anything about it. I know that Halloween in the past has been on Peacock. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends both went straight to Peacock. Now, I don't know what rights were held to get them to do that. If I had to guess, it would probably be there. But that's just me guessing. That's not me being told anything or anything like that. They haven't released where we will be able to watch it yet. But if I had to guess, I would probably say if I had to put money on any of them, I would probably put it on Peacock. That's another movie I like, The Devil's Advocate. Great movie, dude. That was a fantastic movie. I absolutely love it. Byron is saying they need to get the mask right. For example, they take the 1967 flashback and Kills and bring Christopher Nelson back, or get someone like Tom Savini to do it. Yeah, I mean, dude, Christopher Nelson's a beast, and he knows that mask inside and out. That would definitely be the person that I would reach out to get to work on this mask for sure. 100%. Like that's the person I would want to do it the most. Yeah, I understood what you meant, Byron. I just can't see anybody else. But then again, before Halloween 2018, if you'd have asked me who should make the mask, I'd have told you I didn't know. So I can only judge on most recent work, and I know that he did 18 kills and ends, and he also did the flashback. So the work speaks for itself, man. I thought that those masks were absolutely beautiful. I did. Jeff D'Angelo is in the chat saying, "What's up, Michael? What's up, Jeff? I hope you're doing well, man. We got some Halloween news today. A new series coming out, a Halloween series, and it looks like they're going back to the original, going back to John Carpenter's original. And let me ask you guys this: what other characters, like they brought up that we are going to use characters that weren't really, too prominent in the show, to make them shine a little more, to bring them out into the story. And you think that if this is going to go on for, a full season or multiple seasons or however they end up doing it, you're going to have a lot of characters. So you have plenty of story, right? You're going to have more than just Lori, Annie, Bob, and what was the other girl's name? Her name always totally. What's her name? God, it's driving me crazy. I can't remember her name. Oh my god. Byron Weaver, a better fit for Halloween series, Netflix or Prime Video, if it was up to you. Probably Netflix. I mean, they have great shows. Not that Amazon Prime doesn't. I mean, you look at stuff like Reacher. I absolutely love Reacher. But I mean, man, you look at Netflix, you got things like Stranger Things and all the stuff that comes out over there, man. I don't know, man. It with Miramax and Trancas, making it and however they end up doing that. I think that regardless, I don't think the quality is going to change if it's on one or the other. But I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Let's see. He's also asking, I might sound crazy for this, picking up someone like Allison or Jamie Lloyd or Lori from Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't know, man. I think that going back, dude, and rebooting everything, they're probably going to get all new people for this. All new people to bring a whole new show. And I really doubt that they'll bring anyone in from any of the other Halloweens unless it's like a cameo, right? Like if you saw Jamie Lee Curtis in a, one, thank you, Jamie Hart, Linda, you're right. Which is crazy. It's my aunt's name, and I still always forget that. Bringing in them, outside of a cameo role, a small role, I just don't see them doing that. But it would be cool. It would be cool just to see him, for that cameo purpose. There's Ben Tramer, the Sheriff Brackett, Michael's parents for other characters to bring in. Yeah, there is. And the one that stuck out to me the most was Ben Tramer, because someone like that's in high school, like if you really, Lori had mentioned Ben Tramer a few times, and you kind of show maybe them at school or something, and then Ben has friends, and that brings in more characters that kind of work their way in there. Like you watch any of these shows, I feel like you can do so much with that for character purposes. Let's see. Byron saying that's who I would bring back. Hell yeah. Mad Matt's in the chat saying, "What's up, Michael? Just got home from work, bud. Going to clean up. I may jump back on." Hell yeah, dude. Hells yeah. Byron's also saying, "I'm predicting that Peacock will be the home for the." Yeah, I mean that's just a go-to for me, just because I've seen Halloween on Peacock before. That's if I had to guess, that's probably where it's gonna be. But I mean that's freaking crazy. Hold on a second. Let me bring this article back up. I want to make sure that we don't miss any points from this. It closed out on me. I didn't bring it down the app, or not the app, but the article like timed out, like it was weird. Let me go ahead and bring this back up. Oh, God, I get so many pop-ups with this. Let's get rid of that. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Who would you guys like to see in this project? You know, like if you had, now granted, we have to remember it's a TV show, okay? We talked a little bit about Loomis. You know, it's going to be very important to get a character for Loomis. We're going to have to, you know, another one would have to be Laurie Strode, right? Who's going to play Laurie Strode? That's another huge part of this, right? Like if you have, you definitely have to have someone that can carry it from that angle, because those are big shoes to fill too. Laurie Strode is one of the original Scream Queens. You know, well, Jamie Lee Curtis is, but you know, Laurie Strode was kind of the foundation of that. That's something big too. Let's see. Tramer would definitely be cool to see and possibly know about more. Yeah, and I mean, you know, with bringing Ben Tramer into this, you know, you're going to expand the cast. And if this show's going to last multiple seasons, you're going to want more people. And the article alone says, you know, the foundation of the original Philip John Carpenter's movie, the characters of that film, and perhaps a group of characters that we haven't really focused on much in recent film versions or even in a number of them. So the fact that he brings up even a number of them, like really looking at this, who else was in other Halloweens other than Laurie Strode that was in multiple Halloweens? Loomis. Who else? You know, one person that comes to mind for me too, that, you know, we haven't even mentioned. The nurse that was with Loomis. We've seen her in multiple Halloween movies. Hell, we've seen her come back to life. Maybe. You know, and then that can go into, you know, what we were talking about earlier. Val, you made comments about seeing Smith Grove, you know, Smith's Grove. There's a lot of possible scenarios to run through with this. And a lot of things that, you know, by sending all of this, you know, this little nugget of information that they were gracious enough to give us, right? First of all, they were gracious enough to give us this. But the amount of questions that can come out of, you know, talking about this little information, you know, we love Halloween. You know, we do. And it's like fans, like big fans, like we all are going to let this spiral out of control with theories. You know, the amount of theories that are going to come from, I would say this is probably like what, 150 words that they released, maybe 200 max. You know, the amount of theory videos that are going to come out on YouTube that you're going to see, where people are going to be breaking down 3 words of a sentence that they said. Like, that's what's going to come from this. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You take 2 words of that, you're going to see, like, are they really going to do this? It's like, well, they didn't even say they were going to do that. Like, they released 200 words. That's what we got. I guarantee it. And Russell saying Dr. Sartain. You got to think about that, man. Like, when I initially just read that a second ago, you think like, oh no, he was 40 years away, but he was Loomis's, you know, he did learn from Loomis. Granted, he also did say that Loomis was the only one to see Michael in the wild, right? So it would have to come after the events of the, you know, 78 that night, unless they adjust it, right? Because they can do that. Not everything is going to be word for word. Well, God, I hope it's not, you know, word for word the same exact thing. You know, you want the premise of John Carpenter's movie to be there. But at the same time, it's like those are the things that, you know, we talk about on the show a lot too, to where it's like, okay, this is making me a little bit nervous because I care about this franchise so much, because I love Halloween, that it's just like when you start dabbling near the beginning, I start getting a little nervous, just because, you know, whether you're a big fan or not, you know, you have Rob Zombie who went back and explained everything, you know, from his point of view, of course. And to me, that's the main thing that, you know, took me out of that film, because there were just things that I didn't want to know. And, you know, I know some people love that, but I I can only, you know, think for myself on what makes me nervous and what makes me, you know, the shape that I want to see. But I mean, we always don't get what we want, and you can't be selfish that way. But man, I really hope that they leave that mystery there. And when you start talking about, you know, seasons and multiple shows, and, you know, say they're an hour long each, and you've got 10 in the first season, that's 10 hours of content that you're going to have around a certain time frame surrounding Michael Myers. I mean, I can't help but to feel a little nervous about it. You know, a little nervous about the mystery of what I think, you know, or what I like about Michael Myers. That's tough. Like that's a tough thing. Now, on the opposite side of things, you look at the fan base that wants to know more. You know, for them, it's, you know, looking at it like, wow, you know, like we might get to see all kinds of things, and be very happy about that. Be very happy to see them dive into each little intricate moment of Halloween. And for me, I don't want that. I really don't. But again, it can't be about all, you know, it can't all be about what Michael wants. It can't. It definitely can't. So let's see what else we have here for them. A lot of like Trancas and Miramax stuff. Do you think that if they went and, you know, staying with multiple characters, do you think that if they went, um, like they talk, you know, we talked about Nurse Marion Chambers, and we talked about Loomis, and uh, we talked about Laurie Strode. Do you think that you go on to, well, no, you really can't do that, because you think anything after like Halloween 2, you know, you start to get in like, when, let's say when you get to Halloween 4, you know, and you have like Jamie Lloyd. So that means the show would have to go on long enough for Laurie to have a kid, you know, right? So I don't think that we would go into that unless they change who Jamie Lloyd is. So it's another thing that's kind of like, what do you do with that? You know, I think that more so they were talking about, you know, when they talked about the multiple films, or a number of films in their exact words, that if I had to guess was Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. I mean, it would have to be, right, from a time standpoint, unless you plan on running this for like 15 seasons. I mean, but I don't think that they'd be talking about that this early. I don't. Clayton's in the chat saying smash that like button, dropping in to say what's up to my boy Michael. And the chat, what is up, Clayton? I hope you're having a good day, buddy. Hope everything's going well. Whew. Excuse me. Let's see. Byron is saying, would you rather have the episodes of this series? Let's see. Would you rather have the episodes of this series be or 263 minutes long? I don't know, Byron. I know my mind's not working right. I'm not understanding that. If you could clear that up for me. My mind's just like let's see. Russell's saying if they do it right, there's nothing wrong with the TV series because they can make it work. Young Dr. Sartain could work in Young Loomis. Yeah, I mean it could. What would you say? Like Loomis was probably in his 50s, would you say, for the first Halloween? So I guess the biggest thing is, how far do you go back? Do you maybe make like the season finale, Michael getting out of like Smith's Grove and seeing a whole bunch of stuff before then? Maybe building a relationship with like Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis and Marion Chambers and Ben Tramer and all that stuff? Or do you think that that would be too long for you to get like the Michael that you came to see in this series? So that's kind of tough too. Like, where do you toe that line? Because when we talk about Camp Crystal Lake and we talk about how there's going to be a lot of people that go there to see Jason, and Jason might not be there from the beginning. If Michael's locked up and you don't get the Michael that how many people do you think stay for the duration? That's another question too. Jacob Ware is saying, I think they just need to restart from scratch. Yeah, apparently, Jacob, that's what they're doing, buddy. They released this article today, and that's basically what they're saying. That's what they're doing. Let's see. Byron is saying, I was asking, how long do you want the episodes to? Yeah, I'm guessing an hour, like, right? Like, isn't that pretty much what standard episodes? I mean, you could do a half an hour. I'm going to be selfish and say I'd like an hour, but I don't know what that would do with time and, how long it takes to film and, all that stuff. I would like to see probably, 45 minutes to an hour per episode. That's probably where I stand with that. Melissa saying, just sweating my butt off, was raking the yard and cooking supper. Kitchen always so hot in the afternoon, sun coming through stairs, freeze my butt off. You rely on relay for the fire. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. That's crazy. Clayton saying, hot take, I don't want a Halloween show at all. And you're not the first person to say that on this stream, Clayton. So like I said, I really don't know how hot of a take that is. Because we talked a little bit earlier about Halloween fatigue. And I mean, there's that aspect, and then there's people that really don't want that explored. A little rough to say, hey, like, we're going to be diving into all the mysteries and stuff with Michael Myers. Like, I don't know how I feel about it yet. Give me a couple days and maybe I'll have a better opinion. James the Shape is in the chat. What's up, James? I heard they wanted to make a movie based on Halloween 4. That I have not heard, James. That I have not. I've talked about that quite a few times on my channel about how I feel like that might go. As far as, marketing and everything with that, I think it'd be a tough sell. Would it be something I want to see? Sure. I'd love to see that. Make a continuation of Halloween 4. I'd love to see what happened to Rachel and Jamie Lloyd. 100%. As far as the casual fan, I think that'd be a tough sell, and I don't know how it would do, financially. Let's see. What else do we have here? Russell is saying, for the pilot, make it an hour and 10 minutes and then 43 to 45 for the rest of the TV series. And you know what, Russell, that's a very popular way of doing things with a lot of shows that are coming out these days. Make the pilot longer and then each one's about 45 minutes. Yeah, dude, that sounds fantastic. It does. I like that. Let's see. But yeah, so I mean, runtime, that's cool. I'm just really curious about where, like, if I could ask one question. Okay, let me ask this to the chat, and then I'll give my answer, but I'd love to see what you guys think as well. If you could ask Hellwig a question, the guy that, put all this stuff, out for us today. If you could ask one question to Mark Hellwig, what would you ask him based off of reading this? And the only thing that pops in my head for this is when. When is this going to take place? When you start this, when? Like, what are we doing here? Am I going to learn stuff about Michael I don't want to know? You know, like that would be my biggest question. If you could ask him anything, what would it be? What would it be? Let's see. Russell is saying there's been talks of a sequel to Halloween 4. I heard about that, but I haven't heard anything else on it. Yeah, I mean that. Hell, Danielle Harris is a big advocate for that. Hell, I think she even has ideas about it, if I'm not mistaken. Val is saying, I just think with ends dividing the fan base so much, another movie isn't the way to go to bring the shape back. I think doing a series is a safer way to unite the fan base again before another movie. You know, that's an interesting way to look at that. Definitely an interesting way, and one that I did not see. But yeah, I like that. It is a good idea. For sure. Clayton is saying, what's the point? To give you more Michael. Why do we need more Michael? We have 12 films of him, and you can't even find Michael. And you can't find the Michael you like in 12 films. And then the Michael just isn't a slasher for you. Fair point. You know, there's a lot of Michael out there. There definitely is. But you know what this comes down to. And you know, you hate to say things like this, but the David Gordon Green trilogy made a lot of money. So with money comes great responsibility to make more of it. That's exactly what they're doing. You know, it's Michael's cash cow right now, right? So if they can make money off of it, you already know that's what they're going to do. Let's see. Val is saying when, yeah. When does this show take place? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Clayton is saying, I just don't want Michael overexposed or used. That character is not TV show material, in my opinion. It is, yeah. I mean, I can see that. I can see it from that angle too. But we will see because this show's coming out. And you know what? Here's what I hope for with this show. And through some of the things I'm saying, I don't want you guys to think that I'm not curious to see this. You know, I'm going to watch it. 100% I'm going to watch it. But it's like, I am excited about it. I am, but there's just that feeling in my stomach. It makes me nervous, you know, for, you know, some of the things that Clayton was saying. Yes. You know, do I have Michael fatigue? I really wouldn't say that I do too much. I did think they were going to wait longer before, you know, they started doing this. I was expecting 2027 ish. I was thinking 5 years. So when Halloween Ends came out in 2022, I was like, about 5 years, we'll get another movie. Now that you throw a TV show in there, will I watch it every week? Yes. Yes, I will. I'm not going to lie. I'll watch it. Am I overly excited about it? It's like, it could be, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, seriously, reading this article, throwing up a stream and being like, let's jump right in. Seriously. These are all first thoughts. You know, these are all my initial impressions of what this is. And like I said, it's people are going to go off, you know, for a month over this article, and so many freaking videos are going to come out over like just a couple little words in this. It's going to be crazy. Jacob Ware is saying, I will also ask, are y'all going to use the William Shatner mask again or no? Yeah, that was another one that was brought up a little earlier, Jacob. Like, that's a big question, man. Like, what's the mask going to look like? Because I feel like that's super important. I do. If your Michael doesn't look like Michael, how many people are really going to want to watch it? People want something familiar to them, but they don't want the same thing over and over again. And I think when you get into the way that the character looks, you know, I think that's a big part of the familiarity. I always have a hard time saying that word. That people do want. It's just they don't want the same story over and over and over again, which is something else. Starting over. Rebooting this. Like, are we getting the same exact story we got before? Or how are we going to make this different? How do you make this different yet still give the original its praise, but yet make it different enough to make it interesting? I think that's a good question. And hopefully one that they're asking each other in the writer's room. How do we keep the Halloween feel, the Halloween atmosphere, the thing that made people fans of this series of movies, but yet give them something new? I think that's big. I think that's very big. Let's see. Val is saying, Clayton, you can never have enough Michael. The shape is yeah, that's what I was talking about a few minutes ago. That's money. Like that's what it is. It's like, Michael, why are you making Michael Myers so soon? Well, because it made us some money. Halloween 2018 is the highest grossing slasher of all time. And that just came out, what? God, that was 6 years ago, you guys. You believe that was 6 years ago? It's better part of a decade. Unbelievable. I'm getting older by the second. Russell is saying, definitely don't use that Nicolas Cage mask. Oh, why not, man? It's so good. All right, I'm lying. I agree with you 100%. Please don't use that mask. Please. James is saying, God, I want more Halloween. I can't get enough of it. I'm a Myers junkie. I got you, man. I got you. There's definitely it goes back into the oversaturation. Like oversaturation, it's only oversaturated for the people who think it's oversaturated. Some people, you can have Michael Myers riding a tricycle and they watch it. It's just, he has that following of fans that are just like, yeah, I'll watch Michael bake a cake. Like, I don't care, and I'll love it. All right, Jeff, you have a good one, buddy. Jacob's saying, same thing with the Jason mask. Are they going to use it? Dude, I honestly don't know. They are being so secretive with Camp Crystal Lake. All I can really say about it is it's filming this summer. It's filming this summer. From what I read on IMDb, they did cast an adult Jason, but you don't even know if that's true because they haven't announced it yet. So anybody could probably just put that on IMDb and it's not true. So it's tough. I really don't know. Clayton is saying, we have all the Michael we need on film. You want to see Michael? Throw on a Halloween movie. I'm a huge Michael guy, but the thought of him being overused and exposed really bothers me. And dude, I love that you feel that way, man, because it shows your passion for the character, and that's awesome. But when it comes to financials and numbers and studios making money, dude, it's always going to happen. So the best thing you can do is hope that they do good things with it. Like, just hope to God that it does good things and makes money, and everyone's happy. It makes money. The studio's happy with it being good. The fans are happy because they're watching it, and that's how it made money. But as far as something as big as like Michael, they're always going to do it as long as it's making money. As long as it's making money, you're going to get content with Michael Myers. Jacob saying, if we got a Halloween spoof film, would you watch it? Yeah, probably. I definitely would. If you're talking to like a scary movie type of Halloween, I think that would be hilarious. I do. But I think you do it with like all the slashers in one movie. For there to be like enough content, I think you do that. I mean, I know Scary Movie, they were really heavy on screen. But I think you could do that with like all of them, put like a bunch of them in one. I think that would be funny. And yeah, hell yeah, man, I'd watch it. It'd probably be stupid, but yeah, that's never stopped me before. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Val is saying, look at the Chucky series. It's very popular. Many looking forward to Friday the 13th series. Think they're just jumping on that TV series train to see if they can get the same success as the Chucky series, and they might be. That's a very good point. The funny thing with that is, I have a bunch of people telling me to watch the Chucky series, and I haven't yet. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I was talking to Eric about it the other day, and I told him the part I remembered it up until, and he said that was like episode 2 or 3. So that's as far as I made it with it, and I do want to see it. It's not on my top of my list. Melissa saying, I'll be mad if they have a Halloween series. Well, Melissa, it was announced today they have a Halloween series. So that is coming. That's the article that's up on my screen right now. Halloween Miramax TV series will be a creative reset for the franchise. Here's the latest. So it is official. It is underway. Jerry is saying, have Michael, Jason, Freddy do like a Hell's Kitchen. I'd watch that. I'd probably watch it. I'd probably watch it too, Jerry. You can watch all of them do a cooking show, and I'd probably watch it. Not even gonna lie. Russell's saying, LOL, Jerry, might as well throw Wrong Turn in there. It's a Hell's Kitchen. Jerry wants a Wrong Turn masterpiece. If you guys didn't know, he's probably writing some fan fiction over there, and I'd love to read it. I would definitely love to read it. Melissa saying they don't care about our favorite franchise. All they care about is making money. Yes, that's how the world goes. Like, you could say that about any of the franchises for not just horror. You could say it for anything. Like, the number one thing when making a movie is how much is it going to cost to make it? How much money can we make? Right? Numbers. It's all a numbers game. Dollar signs and numbers. That's with any franchise. It's, I hate to say it, but I mean, it's true. Jacob's saying, let Michael use throwing knives. Just kidding. Don't do that. Yeah. You see Michael with a trench coat and a shotgun, like, game over, and just start shooting people. Oh my God. The amount of people that would lose their minds. I honestly would laugh. Like, even if they did it with Jason, like, it's so ridiculous that I would have to laugh. Would I be aggravated? Yes. But I mean, it all really depends on how seriously I'm going to take this. How serious am I going to be about this show? I'll tell you what, the pilot will have my full attention. If it hooks me in like a pilot's supposed to do, let's take that ride, right? Yes, I love Michael. Michael's awesome. But do it right. God, now I keep thinking about Michael Myers with like a shotgun, like bad 80s, like action hero lines. I think that would just be freaking hilarious. Game over. You got a shotgun. It's like, well, Michael turned in his kitchen knife for a shotgun, and he's not taking no shit. Like, the mask has a mohawk and shit. Oh my God, dude. The hate. Oh, I would love to freaking see it. I would just to watch people, like, I would be upset myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is what they should do. But just the backlash alone would be popcorn material for like months. Clayton is saying, at least get the mask right for the love of that. Yeah, you have to. That look of Michael's what's going to draw people in. Well, I'm not going to say it's the only thing, but it's one of the things that's going to draw him in, or draw people in to watch this show. You have to. You have to get the look. I'll say that multiple times. Let's see. Did these two TV series succeed? Do you think we'll get a Nightmare on Elm Street? I don't know, man. Like, Nightmare's funny because of like when Wes passed away. Didn't the rights go back to the Craven, or like the Craven estate owns the rights, and I'm not really sure. They don't release a lot of information on that. But I would think, let's look at it from this point of view. Say that we've already got Chucky and it's doing well. Say Camp Crystal Lake is another great show. This Halloween drops and it's another great show. It's it's tough to say that there wouldn't be people that wanted to get in on that action through Elm Street, right? Hey, they're doing this. Hey, they're doing this. We were one of the big dogs too. Why are we sitting on the bench? We can make money doing this. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Well, let's just say this. It wouldn't surprise me, Jacob, if they did. Melissa's saying he had a gun in 4. Yeah, he did. Didn't pull the trigger, though. He definitely didn't pull the trigger. Mad Matt saying stick around. Yeah, dude. It was in my head. Freaking Predator. I love it. I love it. Clayton is saying if that mask's off, I'm already gonna be checked out. And I can't say I blame you. I can't. I can't. Russell saying can't picture Michael Myers saying I'm all out of bubble. Yeah, it's like I came here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum. Yeah, like that would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The shape with a shotgun saying I'll be back. Yeah, like Mohawk, dude. The Mohawk has to be there too. Like that hair is just, dude, it'd be great. It would be great. James is saying Michael carrying a Gatling gun would be really badass. Like, yeah, like, oh god, James, I can't do it. I can't. Matt is saying I can't agree more. You guys, you got to get that look right. You do. That's huge. It's absolutely huge. Melissa saying I love 4 so much. My favorite besides 78. Yeah, and one of the examples I was giving earlier, like, look, the look of Michael was trash in 4. My opinion, you know, it was trash, but yet it's still kind of that thing that, you know, people love it, you know, because the story was good, you know, because the support around Michael was good, had some good kills, you know, but that look of Michael, jeez. Whew. But I mean, he was already pre-established at that point, so I'm sure that helped. Clayton is saying I love 4 as well. Top tier for 3. Me, that mask keeps it from being any higher. And again, yeah. Melissa saying, wow, guess this is a topic on YouTube today. Everyone going live about it and imaginary talk. Yeah, I would suppose that everybody would be for sure. Jacob is saying with the whole Scream situation, I think they should do a TV series as well. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. And Melissa saying, "Oh, I love the mat." Hey, everybody love what you love, like what you like, right? Let's see. Melissa's also saying, "I don't like the mask in H2O or 5." Yeah, I'm not a fan either. Definitely not a fan. Matt is saying, I do believe if it goes well, we could definitely get more to follow. Now, Michael, you hate H4 mask, but dig the movie. Just, yeah, dude. And that's what I was saying. You know, like movie's decent, but, you know, Michael was pre-established at that point, and he had good supporting around him. You know, Daniel Harris was good. Ellie Cornell was good, you know, and the story was decent. You know, that's the thing. Plus, you know, Donald Pleasance shined in that movie. But I mean, if you really think about if you're going to give me a mediocre movie with a horrible looking Michael, nah, man. It's and plus you got to think too, that came out in the 80s. You know, people don't just buy shit to buy shit anymore. Like we've been jerked around enough. Like you kind of need to give us what we want at this point. Like I'm not going to eat this crap sandwich and smile about it anymore. I'm not. Ages Fear saying the best way to end the first season would be for Michael to take one of those devastating Hulk Hogan leg drops. Rolls credits. Stay tuned for season 2. Dude, would he sit up afterwards? I mean, that's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Melissa, 78 for 18 kills. My favorite 4 Halloweens. That's cool. Matt saying in the stellar acting from the guys in the bar definitely helped. No way, no how. Or the movie with Busta. Yeah, I mean, you could get Busta to come back and end the whole series, right? He could just come in and punk out Michael and the whole show will be over. James saying, I like the 5 mask. At first I hated it, but it grew on me. Sweet. Yeah, it's like I knew you were where you were coming from, buddy. I already knew. Let's see. Yeah, and we've gone back to Hogan. Hogan has made an impact on this channel. It's fantastic. Love fucking Hulk Hogan. All right, so I still have to stream tonight at 8 p.m. We are doing our paranormal show tonight. So I am gonna get off here soon. Just for the simple fact that I still need to like go eat dinner and all that stuff. Plus it's after 5. Russell is saying, what you gonna do, brother, when the largest arms of Michael Myers runs wild on you? That's what I'm talking about, dude. I could hear it in my head. It wasn't just typed out by you. I actually heard Hogan saying it. It's like Hogan's underneath that mask, brother. He is. All right, so final thoughts, you guys. Final thoughts in the chat. What do you guys think of this Halloween series? Are you excited about it or not? Do you want it or not? Here's where I am. I am going to watch it. I am a little concerned about it. I'm not going to lie. I do think that they did the safest thing that they could possibly do with this series, was start from the beginning. I don't really, from anywhere else, it's going to be hard to get casuals to understand what the hell's going on. And yeah, and I mean, we talked about that shit months back, I think, on a Sunday horror stream. Like, what would you do? It's like, start from the beginning. Perhaps we better start from the beginning. They got to do it. And a point was made earlier. I think that Byron brought it up. Bring in Aaron Armstrong. He played the Shape in Kills flashback. He was awesome at it. He looked like Michael to me. And I think that if you get a solid Michael, the mask has to be on point. And when I mean a solid Michael, not only the guy playing it, but the look, 100%. You get that in there, I think that's half the battle. That is freaking half the battle. You get that, you show that in the trailer, people are gonna watch it. They are. Bring good actors, stay respectful to the story, and I think it'll be okay. I do. I am gonna watch it, when it comes out, and I will keep my eyes glued to everything that comes out with it. And I'll always share it with you guys and what I think. And I'm always curious to hear what you guys think, and talk about this as a group. And it's fun that way. It's definitely fun. Give me early pictures of Michael Myers when it's available. That's what I want to see. Give it to us. This little nugget of information, I guarantee that every YouTube channel that does horror is doing something on this today. 100%. But with that being said, let me catch up on the comments real fast, because I do want to know what you guys think. Melissa's flat out saying nope, she does not want this. Clayton is saying, I don't know why it's been so hard to replicate that OG mask, 78 mask. It's a matter of national security. I think they did have copyright issues at some point, Clayton. I'd have to double check on that. But I know that they had issues with but you still could have did better than what you did, right? Yeah, I mean, you could have did better. Jacob's saying, I won't be happy about it, but I'll give it a shot. Little reserved, but I'll definitely check it out. Melissa saying that 78 mask is perfection. It is. And you know what? I do love that mask. That remake mask was so on point. The way they lit it in the not the remake mask, but the flashback mask was so on point. And the way they lit that up, I talked a little bit about it earlier. One of my favorite looks of Michael Myers is him walking down that alley in Kills. When you get that close up and from behind you hear Hawkins, Michael, you know, and he's walking and he stops and he turns. Oh God, so good, so good. Russell saying I'm going to check it out, at least watch the pilot, see if I like it. Yeah, I mean, more than likely I'm going to watch it regardless. It is Michael, you know, love it or hate it, I'm probably going to check it out. Now, if it's completely disrespectful, then no, I won't. I think that there's a certain parameter that you have to keep it in with the Halloween franchise to keep the fans interested and to keep everybody paying attention and to at least try to make a majority of the fan base happy. You're never going to make everybody happy, regardless of what you do. Not everyone's going to be happy all the time. They're not. You can't please everybody. So whoever gets behind that camera, whoever's given the director of this, please be a fan. Please be a fan of this and not just someone that's like, if I do this, I can go on to better things. That's one of the biggest things I ask is please hire a fan, someone that loves this. And I wonder how long it's going to be before somebody asks John Carpenter what he thinks about this, right? I mean, how long is it going to be before somebody's like, hey, John, what do you got new Halloween? He's like, oh, no, I'm probably going to get another check here soon. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Check it out. Man is saying, man, guys, I just want to say, and I think I speak for all of us, thank you, Michael. You work hard for us to be able to come here and talk our favorite genre of horror. Keep it up, Michael, and seriously, thank you. This group is, yeah, Matt, thanks, buddy. Thanks for showing up. I know you work today, dude. I know it's hard for you to do stuff during the week. The fact that you showed up today, man, it means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. The Shape, I give it a go. At least it could be a hit or a flop. Yeah, James, I know you'll be watching it, brother. I already know. Whether you love it or hate it, I know James will be there. Like, either you did it right or you did it wrong, for sure. Clayton is saying the one other thing, but I never see his eyes. Or yeah, dude. If his eyeballs are sticking through his mask, you want to see a rant from Michael? It's like as soon as that show starts and his big ass eyeballs are sticking through that mask, I'm gonna just hit the live button. There's not gonna be a thumbnail or anything. And I'll take the copyright hit on it and I'm going to be like, look at this. Look at his face. Like, I will flat out screenshot that and we will have a big talk about it. 100%. Do we have a date on it? Sorry, I was like, no, Matt. They just announced today that the Halloween Miramax TV series will be a creative reset for the franchise. And here's the latest. So, no, they don't even have anybody attached to it yet. But they're basically announcing that it will be made as a TV show, and it will be a reset following John Carpenter's original Halloween. That was basically the gist. So nothing continuing from ends or anything like that. They made that a point, and that this is going to go back to John Carpenter's original movie, but it is a reset. So a reset is just telling me, hey, guess what, guys? We're starting over. We're flat out starting from the beginning. James saying nothing could beat that 78 mask. Nothing. Dude, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Matt saying I'm stoked for it. It can't disrespect more than ends. So yeah, I've had it thrown it at me. Now let's just see it. Yeah, it's truth. Val is saying if I can stomach watching Rob Zombie's Halloween, I know I can make it through the series. No problem. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. You know, it's like, I mean, it can't be as bad as Resurrection or freaking Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, right? Like, it can't be. I mean, now, like I said, if we're talking about his eyes sticking out, I'm telling you, Clayton, we'll do a dual stream on that one, buddy. Like, we can flat out just, I'll just add you in. Like, dude, let's just bitch about his eyes for 30 minutes. And I'm sure we can do it. Melissa's saying, I hate the H2 mask, even though I know they're the same as the 78, but it scares the heck out of me, the H2. Yeah, I mean, and that's a funny thing, too, because, you know, the way that mask wears on Dick Warlock's head is not the same way that mask wore on Nick Castle, right? They have different shaped heads. And let's not forget, you know, that mask was under Deborah Hill's bed for like 2 years. She's smoking in her, changed it yellow. Like, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be okay. It's just a little stained. We'll just say Michael got a little dirty. It'll be all right. Some reason the H2 Mask movie so creepy it scares me. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. James saying anything has to be better than ends, and it's funny because earlier in the stream, right, we talked about I had a conversation on the other end. Like there are people in here that like ends, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing about this, and that's the thing that they have to remember. The people making this is, yes, they're all Halloween fans, but guess what? They all like different Halloweens. They all like it, for one reason or another. Like Matt and I are always on stream. He loves Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't, but that doesn't make either of us less of a Halloween fan. We just like different things about it. And that's also why I said earlier, they won't be able to make everybody happy because people like stuff for different reasons. They just do. And that's where it gets tough, especially for something like Halloween that is so renowned. So many people like it, but it's for so many different reasons. So again, you bring a fan in, someone that loves the franchise to do this, and I think that we'll be in a lot better shape with it. Melissa's saying Resurrection has grown on me a little bit, but Rob Zombie's Halloween and H3 I will never like. And yeah, and that's, like I said, I know people that like Resurrection. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of Resurrection, but I know people that are. I know Rob Zombie Halloween fans. Hell, there's a lot of people that love Halloween 3. And there's people in this chat that love Halloween 3. There's people in this chat that love Halloween Ends. There's people in this chat that loves Rob Zombie's Halloween. But guess what? That doesn't change the fact that we're not all Halloween fans. We are. It's just we can't agree on why we like it. And that's fine. That's what makes this shit fun, you guys. That's what makes it fun. Jacob Ware is saying Rob Zombie didn't ruin the trilogy. The trilogy was already ruined by Resurrection and H2O. And I mean, if you look at Rob Zombie's Halloween, it was detached. It wasn't even a part of anything. So, he made 2 Halloween movies that take it or leave it, right? I mean, I always leave Resurrection. I wasn't a huge fan of H2O, but I didn't hate it. I think it would have been a good ending to Michael when she cuts his head off right into the sunset. We're done. Now, granted, I'm grateful for Halloween 2018 because I actually love that movie. Hell, I'm wearing my 18 shirt today. I absolutely love it. But if that would have been the end, that would have been the end. I could have lived with that for sure. Agents of Fear, I could bitch about Michael's eyes for the whole 8-hour work shift. Dude, you and me both. We could break down each eyeball, like 2 hours on an eyeball and then 4 hours of just straight bitching overall. Val is saying Clayton, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to shape. Hell yeah, man. Like seriously. Like Loomis captivated. Oh God. The darkest eyes, the blackest eyes, the devil's eye. It's like, come on, man. Like that's so good. It's so good. Yep, the truth. You didn't lie there, Melissa. You did not lie. Clayton is saying he agrees with Val. It drives me insane. I see his eyes. Makes me want to jump out a window. I mean, it just goes against, what you think of the shape and what you want to see out of the shape. I think the black eyes are the coolest shit. Like, it's just like it's the mask. Like, there's nothing inside. Like, what inside is just a shape, man. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's say, and I like Halloween Ends, but I don't love it. And I mean, middle of the road too. And you know what? That's crazy, Melissa, because there's not many like that. There's a lot of people that love it, a lot of people that hate it. Middle of the road people, I would say, are the minority. And that's cool. That is absolutely cool. I'm a middle of the roader too, but I lean more towards the side of not liking. I like the movie, but I didn't like how they did the movie. So I'm weird with it. Definitely weird with it. Yeah. Val, well said. It's like, what part of the blackest eyes don't they get? Yeah. You get these 2 big green eyes looking at you. I'm not feeling, or I mean, Val, you really could get into it, and Michael could take his mask off and cry again. I mean, that's to me was just a masterpiece of Halloween history right there. The brilliance and the shape, taking his mask off and seeing the single tear coming out of his eye. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Riveting. James is saying that damn Silver Shamrock song drives me crazy. Hey, it can. And then we're getting into the Halloween Ends. Either love it or hate it. I got it. Russell saying, great H18 shirt, Mike. Thanks, buddy. I like this one. It's one of my favorites. That's my. Did you guys see the eyes? There are no eyes. They're the blackest eyes. Thank you. Melissa, I love 18. I knew Val was going to come through. Okay. You and I, Val, you said that to me a long time ago, and we still haven't had that conversation yet. We still have not. For sure. James is saying you should never see his eyes. I agree. Val is saying, why the hell did you have to go there with the crying thing, Michael? One of the top worst scenes in the franchise. Oh, you didn't find it emotionally riveting, Val? It didn't bring you in to want to see more? What are the emotions behind this man, Michael Myers? I mean, he was brought to a point of sadness to where he didn't want to. Yes, it was horrible. I know. I'm being totally sarcastic. Terrible choice. Like, why did you do that? Why did you make this movie? Oh God, I can't stand that movie. I hate it so much. I'm sorry to say the word hate, but ugh. Agents Fear saying, Michael, don't even get me started on Halloween 5 and Michael crying over his niece. I will hit someone. LOL. Just kidding. I just hit myself. Oh, I love it. We can make a whole stream on that. I'll have Clayton and Val on, and we can talk about how emotionally moving Michael's crying scene was, and how we felt about it, and how that changed our love for the franchise. James is saying the shirt is cool. I liked Halloween 2018. I loved Halloween 2018. Thank you, James. Thank you. Val is saying, no, just know the shape doesn't cry. Oh, but he does. I got proof. We should do a watch party for Halloween 5. I think we should at some point. And I'll have people on the panel and we'll just watch it. And as things happen, we'll just say it, like whatever we feel watching it, for sure. Matt is saying, I've got to run, buddy. This was great. Talk soon, brother. Hell yeah, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk about Sunday show. I'll get a hold of you, dude. Let's see. Melissa's saying 18 mask close to the 78 mask. Hell yeah. It is. It's beautiful. I love the 18 mask. I love the kills mask. I love the flashback mask. I love the original Halloween mask. Hell, that mask for Ends wasn't. I liked it. I liked the mask. I can say that about Ends. Michael looked dope to me. Michael, when he was on screen, he looked awesome. So I got OG, flashback, 18, kills, Ends. And that's about it. Shape. Seeing a tear coming from Michael's eye made him look weak. I didn't like it. Truth. All right, you guys, this has been a blast. And I'm sure we'll talk more about this. Give me a little while to, read the article over a few more times, see if there's anything I missed. But we'll definitely get back into this. And don't forget, tonight, 8 p.m., we are doing our paranormal hangout. I need to go eat some dinner so I can get ready for the show tonight. But if you're going to be there, I will see you guys at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. This has been a blast, and I will see you guys soon. Actually, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. So I will see you guys then. Peace.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Hey, you